Thank you, Ken, and congratulations to the honorees today. It's good to be with you all. It's been a little while with COVID and everything else going on. Yeah, Ken mentioned the date. That's not a typo. My wife the other day, she said, wait, what? On the 31st of December is the Sugar Bowl game? I said, yeah, baby, I've been telling you that for the last year. And it's at 11 a.m. So LSU will love that if they come here playing that early, huh? So, yeah, we ran head-to-head against, we were scheduled for Monday, January 2nd. We never play on the first when it falls on a Sunday. So we were scheduled for the second, and when the NFL expanded the regular season, all of a sudden we're head-to-head with Monday Night Football, both of us on ESPN. Guess who gets to move? so we moved, but it is part of the strategy, because actually next year when we host a college football playoff semifinal game, it also falls on Monday, January 1st, which again will be head-to-head with the NFL, but we've had some early conversations through the CFP and ESPN, and NFL appears they may be willing to work with us, and so we're hopeful we remain on the first next year, given that it's a playoff game, and that the NFL will move to the preceding Saturday and we can move forward. Before I go any further, I want to echo a little bit about what Coach Tierney said about Ken and Ed. They've been great in supporting high school sports in this city, and particularly high school football. We're heavily invested as an organization in high school football and recognizing and honoring young men who've done well on the field and in the classroom. We sponsor shows that both Ken and Ed do, and they do a great job. We've been partners probably for over 25 years with both of them. So kudos to them. And they make it easy for us to want to continue going forward. We also support and sponsor the National Football Foundation local chapter, and we present $60,000 in sponsorships every year to deserving high school student athletes who've done well in the classroom as well as on the field. And that's something that we're very proud of and look forward to continuing in the future. Quickly about the game this year, I mean, it's early yet, but it's starting to galvanize the picture who we'll have. On the SEC side, as a reminder, when we're not a playoff game, we host the best teams from the Southeastern Conference and the Big 12 Conference against one another. The SEC, we get the highest ranked non-playoff team. Right now, it's shaping up to be one of Tennessee, LSU, or Alabama are the ones that we're looking at right now, depending on the way the games fall as we go. So we'll be watching those games closely and sending committee members out to those games and to make sure that we're ready to go when the teams are announced. On the Big 12 side, TCU is far and away the leader in that league. They're a little bit different in that we don't necessarily get the highest ranked non-playoff team. We get, if their champion moves up, which as we sit today, TCU would be in the 4-team playoff, and we get the runner-up team, which today would be Kansas State. So we'll see how that plays out. Those are the two teams. There's some outside chances for Texas and Baylor even to get in, but those are less likely to happen, as we go forward. So talking about the playoff, in the news a lot lately, and probably nobody's paying more attention to it than we are right now. But there's a big push to expand the playoff from 4 teams to 12, and to do so earlier than anticipated. We have a contract with the existing system for the next 4 years. The people that run the college football playoff are trying to start the expanded playoff in 2024 regular season. So we've been lobbying hard, the conference commissioners and college presidents that make those decisions to make sure that New Orleans and the Sugar Bowl, have a key spot in that. And it's not something that we can take for granted anymore. We've done a good job as a community and as the Sugar Bowl organization in hosting games and providing a lot of revenue for college football in the postseason over the years for decades. This is our 89th game, so next year we'll be celebrating our 90th anniversary. But it's very much become a money game, and that's not necessarily New Orleans' forte when it comes to college football. So we're fortunate in that we've managed our business well over the years as an organization. We have a much publicized, unfortunately, reserve fund that we've invested in, built up that allows us to compete, but at the same time, we're seeking out assistance everywhere we can find. We were fortunate working with Jay and his group in the Sports Foundation this summer, got some legislation passed at the state level that will assist us going forward to have access to some state funds that will keep us competitive. When you think about who we're competing against as we go forward, we got Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, Los Angeles, Phoenix, all major metropolitan areas that have a lot bigger business sector than we have here. And we're just a much smaller city as well. That doesn't mean we can't compete. We intend to compete. We expect to be there at the end of the day. What would the 12-team expansion mean to us? It would mean that we would be on an annual basis either a quarterfinal or a semifinal game every year, which is the game. All of a sudden, the game matters every year. What we found in this new age of NIL that Coach Stockton mentioned and what have you, that players are making business decisions when it comes to whether or not they play in bowl games. When there's something on the line that they're playing for, trying to win a championship, we have a lot better chance of keeping those athletes in the game and not having them opt out. I don't know who came up with the term opt out, but I'm about tired of hearing about it. Over the years, it's happened so many times. And that was one of the unintended consequences of the playoff when it originally started 8 years ago. It took, there's so much focus on the playoff that the other games oftentimes become, less important in players' eyes. And it's a domino effect. If the players opt out, then guess what happens? The fans opt out. And all of a sudden, we don't have as many fans in the seats and have the economic impact for the city that we want and intend to have going forward. But we feel good. We feel good about our opportunity. There's actually ongoing meetings. We're hopeful that a decision will be made perhaps even before this month is out. So we're looking forward to that, and hopefully we'll have good news to report on that going forward. We did this year, for the first time, Labor Day weekend, we did a kickoff game, LSU and Florida State. Marlon, we weren't sure what LSU was going to be after that game, but kudos to Coach Kelly and the team for how they've come back and have won a division championship. They're going to play for the SEC championship now, so they've come a long way since then. But that was a really strong event for us. Having LSU involved is a big reason why it was a strong event for us. We're in talks with them to play another kickoff game in 2028. So the next time they have an opening on their schedule where we could bring one back. Gotten a lot of people that were excited about the kickoff game, trying to push us into hosting one annually. And my response to them is, if you want to be a partner with us, come on. There's a lot of financial risk in hosting the games at that level. The team payouts combined was over $10 million to get those two teams to come to the city, and the math doesn't work unless you sell every seat in the Superdome. So we're going to be real careful about how we do those going forward, but do plan to do some in the future, and we'll continue to look at it, but it's going to have to be the right opportunity. We're not just going to blanketly say that we're going to host one on an annual basis. believe it or not, we do some other things besides the football game. I'll just close with that. We're proud to again be a sponsor of the state high school football championships in the Dome. That's something we're passionate about and excited. You know, kudos to the LHSAA and Eddie Bodine for getting everybody back under the same roof, the select and non-select team. So we're excited to have everybody that weekend. And actually the oldest Sugar Bowl sporting event out there is the next 3 weekends out of the Southern Yacht Club. We've got Sailor Regattas, if we got any sailors out there. But all of these events are for the purpose of driving tourism for the city. And, you know, they all add up. They're all, you know, differing sizes and impact, but again, they're all for the purpose of tourism, and we try to remain faithful to that mission. But again, it's great to be with you all. Appreciate your time. Thank you.